Alright, I wanted to thank all of our viewers and subscribers for watching our channel, and I know not a lot of people put up comments on our public YouTube page, but I've gotten a lot of comments in other fashions like email, um, Facebook messages, and in games that we play. And I just don't know how to word this very well, but it means a lot to us that you guys take the time to listen to just our opinions and our rants and anything else that we have to say. I mean, you sit through our stuttering, our mess ups. I mean, I leave a lot of that stuff in the podcast just either because it's funny or just because it makes it feel natural, because it is natural. I mean, I don't go through and cut out all the mistakes, and we don't usually do a lot of retakes unless there's a massive mess up or like we say the wrong thing. I've got a couple saved cuts of us saying completely the wrong game name, and we're like, oh crap, did we just say that instead of this? Retake. I mean that I do, but um, there's other things I just leave in because it's good for the podcast. And um, I would like to also thank someone who did leave us a comment on our YouTube page, who I'm actually going to give this Humble Bundle Shogun 2 to, because it was the best, well thought out comment that I've gotten so far, and not just in length but in depth. And I'm gonna take a lot of what you said to heart, and I'm actually, instead of just doing um, cut markers in Notepad, well, I'm still gonna do that just for major ones, but I'm also gonna sit there and go back to what I used to do for the earlier ones and listen through the whole thing and cut it that way. Um, it will hopefully cut out a lot of the 2 second pauses, as you mentioned, and will hopefully help the flow of chat a little bit better. Um, I would like more people to put up comments like this. I mean, if you have any thoughts whatsoever about the channel or the discussion at hand, or even just a past discussion, if you listen to like episode 2 and we're on episode 30, we want to hear about it. It's something that we like to hear, not just because it makes us feel good that people are watching. No, we like discussion. If you want to talk about something that's older, we like to talk about stuff that's older. I mean, we still sit here around the, well, I mean, it's technically a virtual table since we're across the country from each other, but we still sit across the table basically and talk about old NES games just because. Hey, what were you playing today? I was playing Super Mario Brothers on my iPod. We'll sit there and talk for 2 hours about that, about how they converted it to work on an iPhone or an iPod. We like discussions. That's why we opened up this channel and this podcast. Um, but I would definitely like to thank Morbis on YouTube for his excellent comment and discussion topic. And I loved it. I read through the entire thing probably 3 or 4 times, and I completely agree with you on those notes about Torchlight 2 having a lot more replayability, not only because of the better storyline, but because it had modability. You could mod it, whereas for Diablo 3 it was always online, always dictated by the Blizzard servers, and so it's near impossible to mod other than changing graphics on your own side. Um, yeah, I loved it. I read through it, and I'm going to give you this key just because of that post. So thank you all for listening to our podcast thus far, and while today's earlier actual podcast was a bit ranty when we didn't really intend it to be, but that's just the natural flow. Yeah, the natural flow of our chat progression. It's, yeah, this is awesome, but this is what fucked up. And unfortunately, the mess ups and just what we were bringing up was a little bit more negative than the positive we wanted to highlight this week. Um, Next week is about more blizzardy stuff, unfortunately, even though whatever. But in the next coming weeks, we have pretty much no idea what we're going to be talking about, so we'll be picking things out of a hat. If there's something you want us to touch on, or if there's something you want us to do a podcast on, feel free to drop any of us a line. I mean, you can do it on our public YouTube channel, do it right here on the comments on this video or any other video. We'll read any comment that comes in. Um, no, send it to us on Facebook. Anything. I mean, I've even opened up a Twitter account for this. So feel free to let us know if there's anything you want us to talk about, or if there's anything you want to talk about with us. We both have headsets and microphones and can hop on Vent, TeamSpeak, or Google Hangouts or anything if you just want to talk. So, thank you all, and have a good evening.